So I think the patience is definitely something you can highlight for Evo's Holy.
That's a signature pick. That's a signature pick for you, right? Key back in the day on his Atlases, on his Tigreal, El Momentum, right? That's where he got his nickname. So that's definitely something that Falcon really needs to pay attention towards, especially as we get into the drafts. For game number 2 in this best of 3, Evo's Holy now on blue side. We have the Phoveus and the Yi being banned out. Falcon gonna respect the Luo Yi once again, as well as the Fanny. They don't want that in the hands of the baby alien. Well, what's his new nick?
Yeah, he doesn't have one just yet. The returning
King of the Jungle.
What? Wait, someone else has that nickname.
Wait, is it? Well, this is Jungle, not jungling junglers.
I don't know. We have to work on that, man. Cause
We do. He deserves a new nick. But Hilda deserves a spot, apparently, according to Evo's Holy, in the first phase of the ban.
Ranger?
So, what do you think it's going to be like?
wow.
You're right. Rangers left up for grabs.
they might go for the Granger. The Chushin is available, but I feel like at this point, the Chushin always gets used as like a bit of a bait. You know, it's something that they don't really, teams right now don't really mind letting go. But if you take it, there's usually something else that like the teams that let it go are aiming for. So for Evo's Holy, is it just going to be the straightforward Granger? It really worked well for them, man. Erlan, again, the MVP of the previous game.
I mean, technically, Harith is still open too. Do they really want to go for Granger now? I mean, technically, it did work out for them before, but do you think they can do it 2 times in a row?
I think they should. And what I like about... Oh, never mind, Arashi. They're planning the bait here. And
So-
I believe the win rate is 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 4.
It's not too high, I think, actually.
7 times played, 29% win rate.
Wait, I thought it was 0% earlier. Or was it not?
It was.
Never
It
mind.
was.
We're gonna
It was
fact check that
0%
later.
after. No, before. Skill was able to get a win.
I see.
Not really sure about the other streams though.
All right. For Falcon, though, now that they picked the Granger, I was thinking they might not have gone for the Hayabusa due to the what do you call it? The one-dimensional nature of the damage, right? Both physical. Usually, you see the Hayabusa paired up with like a Harith, right? Having that magical physical combo. But this means that they are gonna be required to put something that does a bit more damage in the hands of PX7. But they've gotten their signature picks, I guess. So we'll have to see. For Evo's Holy, what do they want to pair up with this Chushin? Usually good aggression, something that can enable the Chushin to actually get those lifts off with the Lantern. Is usually what you need to just guarantee the early game pressure, the early game oppression coming in from the Chushin.
Oh, this time around they want to play the beefy boys in the front and still pick the Joy though for Albert. So they're still pretty much confident of this matchup of Joy and Hayabusa, even though on paper it's not really that beneficial. But Falcon Esports picked the Bellaric again. Maybe this time around it's gonna work better.
It's gonna be against the Joy once more. So in theory, it still has value. And technically, the Bellaric is better now, especially because you're against the Chushin, right? Multiple instances of the damage allows you to get more passives. Is it enough to actually swing the balance in their favor, though? We'll have to see. I think with the previous game ending the way it did, Falcon Esports, if they've already selected the Bellaric, I think they for sure want one other way to kind of engage a fight. Because that was kind of what was the issue just now in game number 1. At the late game, they just open the Glorious Pathway and
Just
Evos
waiting.
run away, and the Bellaric can't do much. They want something to actually guarantee that they can dictate when and where fights happen, I think.
So you're saying this time around pick the Tigreal.
They might.
Wow.
I don't know.
A lot of AoEs there, but as you said earlier, now they have the chance to pull the trigger if they pick the Tigreal, as Lucas is getting banned. So far, gotta say, in this tournament, Lucas has not been the most highly sought commodity, even though it got banned several times in the second phase.
I think it really depends on the team, right? If they're comfortable yet or not. It is arguably a new hero, so maybe not all teams are actually comfortable utilizing the Lucas.
Meanwhile, Lucas Jungle showed up in day 1.
That's
I know, that's true.
kind
That's
of the
true.
point, though. Like, if anyone else is not comfortable of using it, how about just fighting against it? They're also not comfortable with it, so maybe you want to utilize that.
in theory, right?
Yeah,
I wonder if the Harith is going to be let go by Falcon here.
they did.
All right.
It will be.
I mean,
I don't think it's
technically,
gonna be Harith.
it's
All
a
magic.
good. If they do allow the Harith to be picked up, you're right. It is all magic damage from Evo's Holy.
I feel like right now for Falcon Esports, they might be looking for a bit of disengage as well. And it seems like EVO's Holy are reading a bit into it too. They banned with a Sicilian to deny that Sicilian Granger combo. Because worst comes to shove here, there was a chance that Falcon Esports are gonna go for the 2 long range, get 2 beefy frontliners, and this time, even if they can't really engage properly, they can win in the poke battle. That was such a big problem for Falcon Esports in that late game.
But now, honestly, against the high-lows, I think Vexana is also a good option for Falcon Esports to take for themselves for the mid lane.
Just a bit of a safety net too against the Joy. They got dove on, but 2 mid lane bans that has a lot of range here, Rashi. So the idea is very crystal clear for EVO's Holy. But Falcon Esports did get the Aurora, a good counter on paper against the Zushin, and also some safety measure in the Pride of Ice.
The Aurora, I think, isn't exactly a hard counter per se, but it is not bad. It's not a pick that really struggles too hard against the Sushin, fortunately. And now with that already shown by Falcon Esports, they're all in on this like team fight, dude. Looking at gold laners for the side of EVO's Holy, they can go for a Moskov here and kind of make sure that Falcon Esports can't really go for, you know, a full-on 5v5 attempt every single time, maybe.
Irithal could be an option. It's a bad matchup. Oh, it's gonna be a Claude instead. Oh, I'm sorry, Bruno instead. In lane?
Edith. Okay.
Well, technically, like, there's 4 damage dealers in EVO's Holy, so they have a lot of options here.
We don't see the Edith too often, and when we do, it's in the hands of EVO's Holy. It's a comfort pick for Fluffy, or Reggie now known as. So we'll see how that works out. Falcon Esports, though, they need to close out their drafts here.
Ooh. Alright. They took your advice, Trevin, immediately picked up the Tigreal. But so this is a very teamfight heavy composition. It feels like it's gonna be, you know, the team's main body moving around with the magical and physical poke coming in from the Aurora and the Granger. And then Dax just does his thing. It seems like that's the case because there's no real scenario here where Dax is required to technically combo with anyone on the team.
Yeah, but right now the frontliners of Falcon Esports not going to be as beefy as before, though, at least in the first few objectives, because the Edith is there to kind of chain CC them, and also that the ultimate packs a lot of punch even in the early game. As we're going to see here, Falcon Esports and EVO's Holy, the game is on 1-0. For the favor of the Tigers, with wings this time, can they actually close this out and get it done, going further their chances in Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals. Here we go, Game 2.
Let's see if the Flying Tigers can get it done against the Falcons, especially with this Chushin, with the early game mid lane pressure theoretically. Let's just see how it goes, man. For Falcon, they've seen their problems in game number 1. This is their chance to adjust and throw a different curveball at the side of EVO's Holy. So let's see. In the early game, you can just see the spammability of this Chushin, man.
Okay, keep up the Revitalize right away to heal up Dip. He's okay right now. No need to back off and recall while Kirex does so.
It's gonna be an EXP lane Belleric as well. Something that we've seen before, I believe, for Falcon Esports. And it's against an Edith. So, again, seems to be a bit of a bro farm lane. But later on, level 4, there's going to be potential for things to happen. But I think that lane really requires external influence before any kills, any kind of big, meaningful events happen there. But looking at the emblems, EVO's Holy, understanding the aggressive mindset of Falcon Esports, again, going for the smart route, just going for tenacities, trying to make sure that they can survive the initial onslaught, and then they believe that their strategies will lead them to victory the longer the game goes.
By the way, a whole different approach here for Benny compared to Mr. Erland that opted to go for a Fighter Emblem and Festival of Blood. So a lot of ability. Meanwhile, though, Drax gonna go for a bit of poke there with a Quad Shadow. Didn't commit on towards the ultimate.
Alright, level 4 for Dax already. The Roamer and EXPs aren't really level 4 just yet, but everyone's corralling in the mid lane right here, trying to make something happen.
This is a prime position for Dax to be able to get someone there, but just want to get it though. The drag back by Kirex getting a Reggie. Ooh, but stun will not be able to connect on towards Dax, and that's info though. No ultimate for Reggie, and he's so low. Same goes with Key. And right now, Falcon Esports, they have the advantage, even though Albert, you might want to go for a hero play here.
He has it revitalized, but they're not in position.
Albert goes in, a hero play indeed, but beautiful Wrath of the Dryad canceling Albert's engages. It looks like that's gonna take the total and also some kills. A double for Royal Milk, and that's gonna be 4 secured by Falcon Esports in this early of a game.
It's a terrific start for Falcon Esports, shooting them immediately to a 2,000 gold lead. Evo's Holy, they're trying to make use of that Sushin, but in the early game, if you don't have the staying power, then eventually that Sushin just gets left behind like we saw earlier. Man, they need to actually play a bit more patient, show a bit of that composure from game number 1, and avoid Falcon Esports right here when they're having so much more advantages working for them.
And the little things, right? One of the reason why they were able to win that team fight is because Reggie did not have the ultimate. He's also very, very low, and you lost one other frontliner for EVO's Holy. That's all mostly Dax with his Hayabusa. As you said, Arashi, Dax gonna do his own thing.
Which is fine. With a player like Dax, it's completely okay to let him do his own thing because he has that X factor, the killer instinct. And it seems like they're eyeing a chance to go for EVO's Holy's purple buff. Right now, by the way, Benny already secured his Sky Piercer. It's rushed very early on. Let's see.
Explosion, a drag back right away on towards Key. That's a lot of damage there. 4 guys pummeling, pounding on Key.
Talk about overkill, dude. They just blew all the ultimates to make sure that Key did not get to do anything. But look at Reggie.
Reggie, though, once again, getting shoved and knocked up. Reggie very, very low. Quad Shadow. And that's another kill for Falcon Esports.
That's a kill for Benny too. +1, and not literally 1, but 1 more kill onto the stacks of Benny's Sky Piercer. EVO's Holy, they gotta take that into consideration before they move forward like that. They're trying to actually stand their ground and stick around the same area that Falcon Esports does. But right now, they don't really have the same regeneration or damage, and that's why they're losing their frontline members, at least when it comes to ultimates to HP bars, before the fight even begins.
And right now, EVO's Holy does not have that El Momento factor anymore, right? At least in the AoE department, the Tigreal right now is being used by Kidex, and so far, it has been a way better early game for this Tigreal than the game earlier for Mr. Key.
You can see it, Royal Milk already just cutting waves, having confidence in his tankiness. And funny enough, Benny is actually rotating with the team. Usually you see the gold laners kind of left alone to their own business for a while. But Benny is just already rotating early on, trying to find assists and kills to get the Sky Piercer even more worth. And just like that, with all the lanes pushing in favor of Falcon Esports with the superior wave clear, they're finding chances here to peek into EVO's Holy's rotations to where they're moving around. Looking at the items here, that Thunderbolt from Reggie is completed, but he has not been able to proc it that often.
One so far as the Husk Claws, and has not fallen yet so far out of the 6 kills that Falcon Esports has secured. So bit of a silver lining there for EVO's Holy to use. Implosion on towards 2, that's a good one. And also comboed with Frigid Glacier. Key is very, very low. Pop the Revitalize, and also the Glorious Pathway. Royal Milk in the front line, taking all the damage away from Erlan with the Revitalize. Still standing strong. The Great Wall of Myanmar is there.
Just Belleric things, dude. Stop hitting yourself. And Albert though, whoa.
Electrifying Beast not gonna be able to help him to survive this time against the Ogi Shadow Kiru from Dex.
This is great pressure being exerted by Falcon Esports. PX7?
Nah.
It's gonna be okay, man. EVO's Holy now are the ones without any kind of pick-off potential there. They're gonna rely literally on Reggie to try and get any big moments to happen. And that's just not ideal, right? El Momento on a Hylas. I don't think if you're a Key fan, you'll be very happy to see this. But so with that security, knowing that Key won't be making the crazy plays, 7,000 gold lead for Falcon, pushing off the lanes, going for all the invades, and there's just no way right now for EVO's Holy to try and punish, to try and get anything in exchange for it.
Oh, they might get punished instead here. Erlan very, very close. Wrath of the Dryad connects. Purify is used. Reggie might be in trouble, has to use the Flicker too. Man, oh man, they are just chasing EVO's Holy from their own place here.
Oh, Key right now. Backwards, Glorious Pathway. Path of Escape almost. But that, oh man, that purple is going to be zoned off completely, man. Royal Milk, doing so much right here. And he shows a very great itemization knowledge, by the way, because now that there's not a lot of ways for EVO's Holy to burst him down, he went for the Radiant Armor because he knows that DPZ is going to give him so much more stacks. And towards the tail end of the fight, there's going to be more damage coming in from the Primal Wrath, from the Law and Order, from the electrifying beats. So great knowledge shown by Royal Milk.
Kirex conceal on towards Reggie. Used the knock-up to get away. Albert in a good position now. They get caught up. We're trying to get away. Dax to the beautiful quad shadow towards Albert, and Ogi shadow kill once again. Dax is going crazy.
What an absolute monster, man. So much damage. And with all of this happening, by the way, Erlan has only been able to secure Berserker's Fury. I believe that should be his second item, if you think about the usual itemization routes. So 2 items at 8 minutes on a Bruno. That is not ideal at all.
Very much so. Dex already level 13. And by the way, speaking of itemization, Benny actually prioritized the Malefic Roar before the BOD Rashi. So really like that, considering the fact that Kirex so far has pulled the trigger, has pulled the implosion on towards the frontliners of EVO's Holy.
You want to make sure that whoever gets caught in the crosshairs of Falcon Esports, it's going to be a threat. They want to make sure there's no scenario where EVO's Holy can at least get info or get control by sending their tankier members. So it's an itemization choice that benefits the team more than himself, but overall, that is what's allowing them to threaten. You can see even Reggie and Key at this point aren't really functioning the way a frontliner should. And it seems like it's going to be yet again a free Lord unless Albert or the rest of the team can kind of do something.
And the frontliners does not have that X factor anymore in Key though. So like it was like the same story in the first game this time around, but it's reversed this time. Like I feel like EVO's Holy is just waiting for Falcon Esports to overextend and try to punish it. Otherwise, I don't think they're gonna be able to get a kill.
But are they gonna overextend when they have an Aurora and a Granger? All they have to do is siege slowly but surely. Oh man, the damage! What?
He only showed like half of his face and he got pummeled by the whole team of Falcon Esports from downtown. That's unfair, man.
This is what we were talking about earlier, by the way, in the drafting phase. They let go of the Sushin, and look at this game. This Sushin hasn't really been doing anything at all for EVO's Holy. At this point, they would have been better off getting literally any other mage that can actually go and exert that long-range pressure, that burst damage in the early game. The Sushin is completely neutralized, and with the game devolving into a siege scenario, what are you going to do with the Sushin?
I don't know. Question will be answered in this siege. Look at that. EVO's Holy just completely ignored the bottom turret. Dax still going in with the quad shadow and Shadow Kiru. Didn't get the kill, but a lot of HP has been chunked towards EVO's Holy Key with the voice pathway, but taking a lot of damage from Erlan, or Benny, I'm sorry. And that's another kill secured by Falcon Esports. DPZ going forward with the ultimate, getting more bullets towards his face. Benny still just absolutely crazy with the bullets in the front line though. Getting stunned is Albert. Benny still standing strong. Very aggressive with the gameplay, and Falcon Esports will just close this one out, and it's an equal game, or equal match from now on.
Just brute force power by Falcon, dude. They stand in the base, they stare down the members of EVO's Holy and gun them down.